Good Monday afternoon. Ugh, it's a Jeep. Why do you have sunglasses on?
My eyes are burning.
Why are your eyes burning?
Because I haven't slept for 3 days.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Sir, welcome to the 5-star lunch. Thank you so much. Give me your keys, I will park your car.
Did you get any sleep? I mean, hopefully like an hour or two.
Yeah, that's what we get.
Yeah, I mean, I got home, got a shower, and so, quick update. We made it back to a Jeep. So, first day back from California.
We made it back to the Bay and our house and everything. So, we're back.
Okay, well, physically we're back. Mentally,
yes. I don't think so.
You know, not yet. We got in this morning at 5:30?
6. That was 6.
Was it 6?
Here, yeah.
I have no idea. So we left Cali last night at 8 o'clock.
That's right.
Flew the red eye out of Salt Lake.
Oh my God, that was like 20 degrees.
27, yeah. 27 in Salt Lake. So, anyways, we made it back into the Bay. We know we haven't had a chance to upload any of the videos. We'll talk all about that tonight and what's coming and what to look forward to.
That's right.
You know, we'll talk about our experiences, we'll talk about the trips, we'll talk about the classes. We're going to talk about everything.
Saturday, the big show.
We'll talk about the Saturday show. We have a show coming up this Saturday. We want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to have our boy. We're going to talk about Rockford.
That's right.
Talk about Rockford.
Eric
Russell.
Eric Russell.
You guys may have seen him on Big D Wiz and Vega's show the other night. A week or two ago, he was on there talking about the new. We got him actually in the Bay.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we should change the name of the show to Interviews in the Bay. I don't know. Anyways,
we'll see.
It's about 5 degrees
like
Celsius in
California
Istanbul.
Weather?
Wow.
Okay,
it's cold and wet and just crappy. We'll talk about everything tonight about the trip.
Yeah, that's right.
But Istanbul is really cold. I can believe that. Yes, we are going to have a show tonight, and that's why I wanted to come on. We're doing a live show tonight. It's going to be at 6:30. However, we don't know what is going to happen as far as whether it's going to be on YouTube or Facebook. So once we get the webcaster up, we're going to test it a little early. If it works, we'll be on Facebook. If it doesn't work, we'll be on YouTube. But we'll let you know. What show Saturday? It's going to be on... Saturday show is always YouTube. So this Saturday show on YouTube, that's where it's going to be. So the Saturday show will definitely be that. Bummer about the internet at K-Fest. There again. We're going to save all the K-Fest talk till tonight. We're going to tell you how our classes went, just the overall. So tonight will be the K-Fest roundup. It'll be a lot of fun. But don't worry, we got plenty of cool videos. Right off the top of my head, I know there's 5. We shot 5 videos out there. So, we're going to save it for tonight. So.
And real quick, yes, we're going to tell you who won the amplifier, the audio control amplifier on next week.
We can't do it Saturday because
No. I'm saying from today, next week, next Monday.
Maybe.
Yes, we're gonna try next Monday.
Yeah, we'll let you know tonight. I haven't had a chance to talk to Haley to get her list. The plan we had in place the first time didn't work out. Chris was supposed to judge this weekend, and we'll talk all about the how things go.
That's right.
Another installed diary. Yes, of course, there's more installed diaries coming. We've just been out of town and packing, and it's just been hard. Yeah, we're going to finish up. There's an episode 6 that I have to edit for the to finish off the Ford Raptor. So that'll be coming. There's always going to be another installed diaries coming. It's just a matter of right now. Yeah, is the Raptor finished? No, the episode 6 is not done. So that's what's waiting. And I was trying to get it done before we left, and it just didn't happen. We ran out of time. But don't worry, we'll get you guys all up to date. Miami in the house tonight on the show. So just tune in. We got to go, though, because we have to hurry up and get this thing done. Because tomorrow we got another big job coming in. This is a big job, too. I don't even know why I agreed to do it, but hey, whatever.
That's right.
So we're going to knock this out. We'll see you guys tonight, remember. We'll let you know. It's going to be 6:30 on Facebook like it's supposed to be, and if not, we'll hop on Facebook real quick and tell you to head over to YouTube, and it'll be there.
Right.
So stay tuned. You guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you tonight. Bye. Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. Did you get any sleep last night?
Sure.
Hey, Brian, what's going on? We're still dragging a little ass here, but the day must continue. Today is going to start out with a 2020 Dodge Ram, non-premium. Atlanta in the house. What's going on? So a couple things that I wanted to let you guys know about this. This is a base model, and there is no Amp Pro available for this particular version of this car quite yet. But we're going to be putting in a bunch of audio control and Morel. So we got some Morel tempos going in 6x9 components, 6.5 coaxials, D4.800. We got a LC 1.800. Two P312s are around here somewhere, and then the Fox box. This is the new Fox box that goes up underneath the seat, and you don't have to lift the seat up or anything. It just fits right underneath there. It's notched out for the cool little cubbies that are right here on the floor. But room is a big thing in this vehicle. Now, this is their AC outlet. There's a 400 watt AC outlet in here, and it's like 400 watts. That's a lot of power. And you'd be correct. That is a lot of power. So much so that if you notice this hump right here, underneath this hump are two 4-gauge power wires that go up behind this passenger rear seat here. And behind that seat is a giant power inverter. And I mean giant. So much so that if you've ever taken the back wall of a truck apart, there's usually like a vent here and then a vent over here. Not in this. There's no vent on the driver's side. There's only just one big vent over here on the passenger side, which means the amount of room that you have access if you're going to mount an amp back here is real limited. They've also put the vent for it. It actually starts right here. Now there is room right here behind that seat. It's about maybe 11 inches by 14. I didn't tape measure it or anything like that. But it is right next to the factory vent. So putting amplifiers behind the seat, it'd have to be very small, or you'd have to make sure you don't have the power inverter, which I think is pretty much, I think they all have. So that leaves us underneath the seat. Now underneath the driver's seat, there is an air vent, but there's this bar. See the motor right here? There's a bar that goes all the way across. But this kind of ski slopes in, so there is room down right here for it, and I think we're going to put one amplifier over here. It just barely fits. I mean, it's going to have to be really thin and suck to the floor. But over here on the passenger side is where the jack and all that fun stuff is, which I'm hoping we'll be able to take that out and put into one of these cubbies. But that's where we're at so far on the planning stages of it. Of course, roadkill these fast rings for all the cool stuff that's going into these doors. We haven't decided on whether or not we're going to take the radio out and catch it behind the radio. We might just grab all our wiring here and here. This is going to need some LGDs though. This is going to need a set of the LGDs because it has the OEM system without the amplifier. So that is going to be, we're going to need some green LGDs to give our radio the appropriate load and make it think that there's still speakers attached to it. Hello guys, sorry I missed live show yesterday. It's okay, Bobby, we talked about you. Your ears were on fire, I'm sure. Have you guys used the Metra speaker rings? No, we have not. We do have them in stock. No, thank you, Bobby. We had a great time. We really did. It was wonderful meeting your wife, daughter, and of course yourself. And of course for tooling around with us. So we have not used we haven't used them. We have a pair of them in stock. We just haven't seen. We do a lot of 6x9s, and like a goof, I didn't order the 6x9, so I got to get back to that. But a lot of people do use them, and they love them.
That's right.
Hey, what's up, man? So that's the plan on this truck. We're not filming it. This is all we're going to get for it because we're kind of tired, and it's just one extra step that we just don't have the energy to do right now. Talk about importance of RCA wires. You need RCAs. It's what carries the signal. No, we did a great show. If you want to know more about RCAs, we did a great show starring John Conolano on Car Audio Talk with Dean and Fernando. We went through all the steps. We spent like 45 minutes to an hour talking about RCAs. So that would be a good place to start. If you want to know more about RCAs. But yeah, RCAs are the most important thing. I mean, it is what carries your signal from point A to point B. Now in this car, The only RCA we're going to be using is going from the D 4.800 over to the LC 1.800 because this is all going to be high level, so there'll be only one RCA. But RCA is where, I mean, it is the strongest link in the car. It's just like the power wire. Your system is only as strong as the cheapest thing you buy. So you could buy the most expensive amplifiers in the world, but if you've got crappy RCAs, crappy power wire, guess what? You're going to have crap. I should thank you package in a few weeks. Oh, okay. Thank you, Bobby.
Alright, so start using some match and helix amplifiers, and you will need those low resistors. Oh.
Well, no, that's because Match and Helix have load resistors built into them. A lot of new products are coming that way. Audison has it built into their amplifiers. Correct. Max and Helix have it built into theirs. Kicker they had a lighter version of the load amplifiers built into that. Of course, the new Kicker Key has a more advanced load resistor built into it. Yeah. And of course, the new LC1 and the LC2 Pro have load resistors built into them as well. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I hate it when my phone rings and I forget to turn that feature off. Anyways, so yes, there are certain amplifiers that are finally starting to get into the, like, we're going to put load resistors in the amplifier, so that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. But then again, for the ones that don't, there's external load resistors to do that. Yeah. Fun. Crazy. I'm still tired, not going to lie. But anyways, we just wanted to come on today, and this is probably going to be more of a 5 minutes with 5-star than they've been in a long time. Right, we just wanted to come on.
Quick, when the new Amp Pro work in that?
No, I said that at the beginning.
Yeah, no, but okay. He asked.
Audio systems in the house. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
They made that nice CRV that Andy was demoing.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah,
we talked about that a lot last night before we got told that we were talking too much about car audio.
IPL, that was the guy.
Yeah, we were talking too much about car audio experience and not answering everyone's questions.
And Junior and his father. And
all right, so... All right, we're going to let you guys go. Have a great day. I know it's the short one today. That's all right. Brain's still not up to 100%. Not that it ever really is. But,
no, it's not.
check out the first show from the show floor. Went live last night. And then show floor 2 will go live for tomorrow. And then we have, you guys that were talking about Match, Helix Match. We got a special one for you on that.
That's right.
And, of course, we have the Brian's car coming up. And then we got a lot of stuff coming up for that. But we're going to let you guys go for today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. What's going on, man?
What are you
doing? Was that even words?
What are we doing right now?
Well, I thought we'd kind of give everyone like an update. Gabby says hi. An update on what's going on with the Ram since it's been a few hours since we started on it.
Yeah.
What's up? Anyways, so this is the rear door we're putting on the Ultimate.
Ultimate, that's the Ultimate. Yes.
So this is Ultimate. So Ultimate has, of course, foam. It has aluminum. It has butyl. We love using this stuff on here. It makes it super rigid and super nice. Going over to the truck. Now, for those of you wondering, the Morels fit, but we'll get to that in a second. So this door is done. He is finishing up this door right here. So these are the coaxial 6x9s. And what we had to do to get these bad boys to fit in there, first things first, is they have this piece right here, this little beauty piece that goes on the bottom of the speaker. That had to come off. Because it took up like a 1/16 of an inch, and we needed that 1/16 of an inch so that we could use these. We made these are some 1/4 inch spacers. So we needed exactly a 1/4 of an inch to fit. As you can see, they're perfectly matched. I know, right? Of course they are. Perfectly matched to the speakers. So these go on the bottom, and those allow us to put these speakers in the door. Now on the rear door, the only thing we had to do, you remove this? Did you remove this on the rear door?
No.
No? All right. So on the rear door, we didn't have to do anything. They popped right in.
The reason why is because the rail
Hold on
the front door.
You gotta wait till I'm closer.
Okay, so the rail on the front door.
The what?
The rail.
The rail? Window track?
Okay, the window track on the front doors are literally right here.
Literally.
Like literally. Yes, right here. So yeah, that's the problem. And the rears, no, you're good.
I'm trying to watch last night's video. Don't you guys ever sleep? Does he look like he sleeps?
Why? Why do you need to sleep for?
Exactly. Now, so that's what's going on with the speakers in this. The speaker in the dash is the exact same size speaker as every other Chrysler. So it's a Jeep. So we just need to route her out. I don't know why I keep saying so, probably because I'm tired. We just need, this is the speaker here. It has the standard notch. We're just going to laser cut some of these out to go into the Dodge. Got the Morel tweeters here. We'll take a look at that tomorrow when we go on, because I'm not going to do that till tomorrow. I'm actually going to go home tonight, and if I have time, I want to redesign this particular one, because when we did the first laser on this, it was new and we were playing with it. So now that we've got it down a little better, I want to try to redesign it so it cuts a little nicer. Hey guys, you know how to unlock the old Pioneer radios? You mean the touchscreens? Yes, we do. Email me. That's the only thing I can say there, because otherwise I don't want to get sued. And they did threaten to sue me. So, okay, moving on. This is the factory radio. And of course, we have lots of protection going on here because we don't want to have any mistakes. This guy here is the factory radio. It's attached into the whole bezel. To get this bezel out, there's 2 screws right here. It's these guys, this one and this one. And then this whole thing snaps off. That's it. There's nothing else holding this in place. And as you can see, we got the green LGDs here. Green are for non-amplified, gray are for amplified. We've already tested to make sure it turns on and we have sound, and it does. Bonus. But this guy, this is the T harness. We use the T harness, of course, but you'll never find it, meaning you'll never find anyone that lists this T harness anywhere for you to use. It is the same harness as the previous. However, because this is a 2020, you can't do the cool Amp Pro plug in and get it to do factory amplifier yet. They haven't cracked that one. So what we use is actually the same harness, just from iData. If you get this harness right here, the DCH3, you can remove all the nonsense that you're not going to need, and you end up with that T harness that we just put into the truck so that you don't have to cut that factory plug. So that's it. The DCH3, you can order one of these guys, and that way it'll allow you to put a new radio in the 2020. Now keep in mind, this guy here is a base model 2020. There's no ANC, there's no noise, there's no modules underneath the seat. We've already tested for all that fun stuff. So if you have the base model cloth seat version of the truck, you're good. Now some of the other ones with the premium sound system and stuff like that, well, those are different applications. But as of right now, this is what we got. This is what we got available to us. Sweet, right?
That's right.
It's pretty nice. I'm glad Mark sent us that cable.
Yeah.
Is that everything? Oh, also, we fit the
We
put the
Yeah.
Fox box. I'm thinking put the Fox box. This is the new Fox box for the Ram, this big guy here. We told you we're going to put 2 P310s in. We didn't know anything about it yet. We fit this in, and it goes right in, meaning there's nothing else that it needs. There's no risers on the seats. There's no nothing. It literally just slides. Big word of the day, literally. It just slides up under here. It sits right in this area, and it does stick out just a smidge. But other than that, it's pretty sexy, and it is for 210s.
It is pretty sexy.
Got that lined up. Door panel done. That's 2 for the day. All right. That's it. We just wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on this. Plus, before I forget, I wanted to talk about that harness because a lot of it is. I'm trying to think what my email is.
Huh?
I'm trying to think what the email is.
What email?
I don't know. I don't know which one to give you.
For what?
DM me on Facebook. That's easier. Or
that would
DM
be
me on
easier.
Facebook. What is it? Yeah, Dean. Yeah, just DM me on Facebook. I'll get you there, and we'll take care of it. Whoa. That was good. That was like I said it 4 times, and then it said it 4 times. We're still really tired. We got another hour to go still, but we're gonna call it. That's it. We want to just tell you about that harness. So some of you guys out there have Dodge Rams. Some of you guys are gonna be watching the 5-star replay because you're cool like that, and you just like listening to an hour's worth of car stereo talk. What is the best way for me to know what frequency my speaker is actually playing after I hook it up in my car? That'd be an RTA.
That would be the best way.
That'd be the best way to see what's playing with an RTA, so you can physically see what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, we'll just leave it at that for right now.
Well, that's it.
That's it. There's nothing else. It's nothing else, man. Yeah, okay.
Some RTA, baby.
I'd say those are thinking words when I pause and do that, but there's no thinking going on here, guys.
Yeah.
Till next time, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go with that.
Tomorrow.
Bye. What's going on, man?
Oh. Chilling over here.
Just chilling, huh?
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Is that the notification?
That's the notification.
Have you screwed one of these in yet?
Not yet.
Pull it out real quick. Okay, the woofer. Pull out the woofer. So for those of you guys, we're continuing on with the Ram. Apparently not Dodge, just Ram, as I was just corrected. Whatever. Ram. So this is the Fox box, and we have a Rockford P312 going in that. So to give you an idea, where's the tape measure? Oh, hold on. Let me grab the tape measure. I know. Let's measure. Let's throw some inches on it. Go from here. Go from here to here.
All right, from here to here.
Yeah, just turn the tape measure around so
six.
Let's see it. I don't care.
6 1/4.
Yeah, they can get that. So there you go. We got 6 1/4.
That's what I say.
I know. No problems there. Let's take a look. Let me come around the other side. Let me take a look at it from the inside. You're good.
Okay.
I know.
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing either. So lift that up for me so I can get that view right there. All right, so there's the other magnet, and this is my hand up underneath that other magnet. No problem whatsoever. Probably got another good inch. So for those of you that are wondering how deep this ported Fox box is,
I'm gonna put my.
It's pretty deep. Are you gonna shine me a light in there? What are you gonna do?
I'm that cool.
You're that cool?
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, we got tons of depth. Ton of depth. Hey guys, nice to meet you at Knowledge Fest. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man.
So, we have lots of room in the Fox box. Let's go take a look inside the truck and see what is going on. Fernando finished the fuse holders. We have one amplifier in, the second is not. This is going to be the D. This will be the LC. And right now I'm working on the LC mount. I just got my plastic made. It's going to be extremely tight. And what I have is these little legs right here underneath the seat. I have these two things that stick up. So this lines up and goes like that. And goes like that. And then the amplifier is going to sit there. Power wire is going to come up this way, go out that hole. Signal wire, which is right here waiting, is going to come out this factory hole right here. And then that'll be all set, and we'll run our sub wires back down this side of the car. And that'll be that side, so that'll be good. All right. Best aftermarket reverse camera to order for a Pioneer AVH. Anything EchoMaster. Just go to EchoMaster.com, find the one that best fits your vehicle. They have I'm going to say 1,000 to choose from. It's probably several. Shout out to Orca.
Shout out to Orca. Full cal K2s, baby.
For life. Ooh, we got in the new flax.
Yes.
I got a new flax. I was thinking about bringing those out Saturday.
Okay, we can talk about.
Yeah, we should talk about the new. What I like to call
we can't.
Why?
Because
we can't Saturday. We'll have to wait till Monday.
Yes.
No, we'll have to wait till. All right. Here's what's going on. Saturday, Rockford will be here.
Correct. Eric.
Disney. Watch you guys fellas at Disney. Awesome.
Ooh.
So Eric from Rockford will be here. We're going to talk about the new Prime amplifiers. YouTube, Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Monday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Facebook, we're going to have Matthew from Audio Control here. We're going to give away the amplifier. So the 801, we're going to do on Monday. We've got that all figured out. We know who the winner is.
Matthew is going to give it away.
Matthew is going to be here while we give it away. We figured that would be a whole cool finish to out the whole audio control portion of that part of our lives. And that way we can get on with the rest of this. Yeah. So that's what's going on. So then next Saturday.
Next Saturday is next Saturday.
Let me check the calendar. So next Saturday we're good. So next Saturday we'll bring out the new focals with I like to call the coffee tweeters, the new flax. But then Monday or Tuesday we have a special guest coming on Monday or Tuesday.
It's Mocha.
Mocha tweeter?
Oh yeah.
All right, whatever. What's the brand again for that reverse camera? Echo Master. Echo.
ECHO, right?
Yeah, Echo
Yeah.
Master. You can go to echomaster.com and check it out. Can't wait. I know, right? And then in March, we got the Phantoms from Amp Global going to be here again. And then March, we're going to be going to Knowledge Fest. So,
Fernandez,
we figured out what we're going to do for you guys for March for Knowledge Fest because we want to make sure we just keep having some fun and new things. We're trying new things this year, and some are better than others. Yes, the microphone didn't turn on day 2, so there was some dialogue that was lost. I apologize, but there was still really cool stuff to see, and most of it you heard.
Right.
Any audio control lanyards left? Would like to purchase one. We do have... No. So all the ones with the 5-star logos, they're gone. They went. I'm sorry. Never to be repeated again. We'll never see that one. So right now there are none. We do have audio control lanyards, but not 5-star audio control lanyards. So why did you keep the passive crossovers on that build? The amp has full DSP. It's also a 4-channel that's running front and rear.
It's not active.
It's not active. We're running tweeters, which would be 2 channels.
Right.
We're running mid-range, which would be 4 channels. And we're running rear. Hold up a finger.
Yeah.
Hold up a finger. That would be 6 channels. We have a 4-channel amp. Those passive crossovers are going to cross over the tweeters and the top for the mid-range. The amplifier is going to provide the bottom for the front mid-bass.
Correct.
And, of course, a bottom for the rear mid-bass.
It's going to be more clear, of course. The
DSP
is gonna
doesn't
give
mean
you...
that it's going to... You have to have a 6-channel amp to go
Right,
full
yes,
active. We're not
no.
doing full active in this. What's the best fairly priced mod? What is the best fairly priced model of what? I hear the first part of that question. Dean, can you bridge the front 4 channels of a 61200? Yes. KXR3. No, because it's going to be too ohm. So the KRX3, which is the 3-way system, if I'm correct, right? KRX3 is the 3-way set?
Yes.
It's bi-ampable.
Yes.
So how that breaks down is you'd use channel 1 and 2 to power the mid and tweet, and 3 and 4 to power the mid bass.
Yeah.
That's how you would run those on that amplifier. Now, if you were just going to do a D4.800, you'd be all set because they're 2 ohm load at the amplifier. The D4.800 puts out like 250 watts at 4 ohms. We've actually done that before, and it sounds really nice. But if you want to go semi-active, meaning the mid and the tweet are going to be on channel 1 and 2, which is pretty cool, you can do that with the 61200 and then use that 2 ohm mid bass on the mid. Yeah, you get the idea. I don't need to reiterate too much.
I did a 2009 Jetta yesterday, passed it 3-way.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, I can't.
Oh, no doubt. Dude, we fit a set of flax in that car, and that sucked.
And see, a lot of people think like you go 3-way and you go active.
No. You'd have to have 6 channels of amplification to go
Correct.
3-way.
So
And have it all actively
sometimes
crossed over in
you can,
timelines.
yeah. Mhm.
What size TET Flex you use for 4 ohm, gauge, and 0 gauge? We actually have a video that describes all the TET Flex and 0 gauge. TET Flex and heat shrink. We have a video that explains all that, but so that you don't have to go back and watch it, we'll keep it simple. 0 gauge, we use 3/4. So this is our 0 gauge stuff right here. We use 3/4. 4 gauge, most of the time, we are using 3/8. Now, 0 gauge, if it is a short run, meaning it's not going to be going through the car, we will switch to 1/2 inch. But if we're going to do a long run through the car, we go a 3/4 because we need it to stay flexible. If you go super tight on the wire with 1/2 inch, it doesn't flex as well. The same thing is true with 4 gauge. Sometimes we'll switch to this. If it's a long run that is going to have to do a lot of bends, we'll put this on there as opposed to this because this makes it really more rigid and kind of hard to use. If the male spade connector is very big on the RF,
and the Rockford.
then what can you do for the female connector, and how do I connect the female spade connector to the wire? So there's actually 3 sizes of spade connector. There's a big one, a medium size, and a small. You could use 2 big ones, or you could just solder on, use your own connections. As far as like soldering on and using your own connections, you got to be good at soldering for one because you don't want to wick the solder up the tinsel lead. But a nice connection that we like to use are these guys right here. These you can find are called... no, they're not Deans. These are the XT60s. XT60s, these guys. They come in 3 different sizes. You have the 60s, you have the giant 90s, and then you have the little tiny ones here, which are good for tweeters. Yeah, and these are like 30s or 15s or something like that. So that's what we like to use. Fun.
What do you do when you what do you guys do when you experience all pass filters without using a preamp device?
What does anybody do with an all-pass filter when using a preamp device? It really just depends what we're doing in the car. So like if you have a Toyota or something like that that has an all-pass filter, there again, it just depends. The simple solution would be if you have a DSP that has an all-pass filter on the other side, if you want them to match so you can do your own time alignment, do that. However, what is the purpose of the all-pass filter? It's to give you what they like to say, some kind of time alignment. If it's working properly and it sounds like the sound stage is coming out of the dash, why would you change it? If it's working and doing what it's supposed to, you don't have to get rid of it. Right. You just don't want to apply your time alignment to it. So if it's doing what it needs to do, just add new speakers, do a little bit of tweak on the equalizer, and let it go.
So you think it's like a fake time alignment?
I mean, it's not a fake time alignment per se, because, I mean, according to Andy, you know, if you put enough of those things in there, you can basically do the same thing we're doing with time alignment. So it's just a matter of getting the sound to where it needs to be at the right time. But you don't necessarily have to get rid of it. You just have to be careful what you do around it.
You have to work.
A lot of people so there's a lot of things in our industry that people like to say that is doom and gloom. Oh crap! It's gonna, if we get a Lexus, Acura, something that has a system in it, okay, that has already got all the work done for us, meaning they've already time aligned it, they've already done everything to it. We sit in the car and it sounds like the sound is coming out of the center of the dash.
And shout out to Bobby and his family. Thank you again, Bobby.
Why do we need to fix that? It's already done for us. All we need to do is put new speakers power and then just manipulate the EQ to make our speakers sound good as opposed to the factory speakers that were in there.
I'm trying to say that.
The end result is so that the customer is happy and it sounds good. Do whatever you need to do to get to that point. Yeah. Okay. Hope that helped. 1 amp or amps for fully active KXR three-way. So if you're going to go three-way, there again, the LC61200, if you want to go audio control, would be a spectacular amp. So you could do like an LC61200. You could do a ACM 2.300 for some rear, unless you're going to go, if you're doing rears at all. But if you need to do rear, and then do the LC 1.800, and then get a DM 810. Yeah, DM810 DSP to power it all and let everything go where it needs to go.
All active.
All active. Woo. Fun. Let's see. JL. All right, so we got a bunch of JL stuff. 6 pounds. Yeah, off this 400. Should I bridge front or rear? Also, should I run one set RCAs to both amps or both amps to one and the pre-out to the second? So I have two CS 6x9s off of two 404s. Yeah, so you're going to bridge it, and you're going to run an RCA to each amp. So you're going to you just got to be careful how you hook it up, because if you're bridging a 4-channel amplifier, you more than likely you're going to need Y jacks, because it's going to have 2-channel input, and that's for 1 and 2, but 1 and 2 bridges and 3 and 4 bridges. So actually what you need to do is put left into 1 and 2 and right into 3 and 4. Most amplifiers don't have switches to do that, so you typically have to run a set of Y jacks in so that you Y in left to 1 and 2, Y in right to 3 and 4. Do the same to the other amplifier, and then you'll have balance, fader, and they'll all be where it's supposed to be, and you'll have the bigger power. Have a 2010 Lancer. Speakers have no screws. They twist and pull to remove, and hole is kind of triangle. Yeah, do you have an adapter for that? Honestly, I have no idea, but a good place to check someone that might have one of those is metroonline.com. If there's one available, they're going to have it. I can tell you right off the top of my head, PAC doesn't, so there's no reason to try there, but that's it.
Right.
Thoughts anyway, the radio. Throw away anyway. Okay, Jason's being funny. New Alpine Type R high-res 6.5 component set. Go for it.
Yeah.
Can you all do an episode explaining power per channel when using active for each speaker? Yeah, so we're still going to do the video where we show, because everyone's always like, oh, it's funny. Did you see the top 10 things that are fake in-car audio that Andy put up the other day? Andy Waymeyer from Audio Frog. You know, it was like number 5 was how much power the passive crossovers rob from an amplifier.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's really not that much. But yes, we plan on doing a video showing you the actual voltage loss. We just haven't had time. So, but yes, it's on our list of things to do. It's going to turn out to be way harder, but we want to make sure we get it right. So, Bobby, #1 stalker. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. What amp do you recommend for 12-inch Ryan Type R 4-ohm? 2? If you're going to do 2, you could do a 1,000-watt amp. If you're going to do 1, a 500-watt amp. They have peak power of like 1,000 watts. Those are the woofers you definitely want to divide the power in half and give it half of that, and you'll be good. I can't tell you how many guys have come in with one R-Type 12 that they bought on the internet, and they bought the 1,000-watt amp, and it didn't last more than like, I don't know, a day, and it was destroyed. So 500 watts is really good to power those. You're the best, man. No, you're the best. Hi. Have you heard the Focal mini amps? Any comments? No.
No, not yet.
Oh, the little ones that go in like the motorcycles and stuff.
Yep.
Yes, we have. We heard him on a motorcycle with K2s. The one-leg guy with the big dog chain. Yeah, that badass motorcycle that's like so ungodly loud. Yes, we have heard them. Yes, they are loud. They power for days. Power for days. Just like you'd expect from something Focal. It is impressive. He had 2 of them.
He have 2, but I think he was going to go with
He's going to go 3 or 4.
Now he has components in the front, K2 components in the front, K2 coaxials in the back.
I think his motorcycle is why they came out with K2s.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got all K2s now.
Yes. Yeah, it probably will be the reason why the Focal K2s now are in motorcycles.
That's right. It's ridiculous, dude. That motorcycle is so crazy.
Believe me, it's really clear how it sounds.
Oh yeah,
yes.
And you guys have heard it any time we were on the show floor in Dallas or Indy.
The first year, remember?
Yeah, the first year you just constantly hear it firing up.
They're behind the Global booth.
Yeah,
and that was that motorcycle.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. No adapter from Mentra. Crap. Cut hole and do nut rivets. Yep, that's what we would do. I don't know if we'd have to cut the hole, but yes, if the magnet's in the way, we'd definitely cut the hole, and then we use nut certs. Have y'all heard when the new Kicker KS speakers come out? I heard a rumor that it is at beginning of March. I don't know. I can find out, though. Yeah. Wish I would have known this one earlier.
Tomorrow.
Ooh, speaking of Kicker, we just got off the phone with them, and we found out they are definitely going to be the official sponsor of Dallas.
Knowledge Fest
Dallas. So we are going to so in Indy, Amp Global, we talked about that. So we already covered that. We're still trying to figure out what we want to do in Orlando. So if you guys don't leave it in this comments in here because we don't ever see them. But if you guys think of something you guys want to see at these Knowledge Fests, don't be shy. Let us know because we're open.
Post it in the Knowledge Fest video.
Yeah, post in the Knowledge Fest video for sure, definitely. Mm-hmm. So day 1 and 2 are out. If there's something you want to see, and yes, we know the microphone got turned off. All right, so you don't have to tell us. We know it sucked, and we're really bummed about that. Don't worry. Like anything else, anytime we run into a problem or we have a way to fix it, we're going to fix it. So we're already figuring out how we're going to fix that so that never happens again.
That's right.
The Wi-Fi thing, probably not going to get so lucky because I don't plan on going out and buying a T-Mobile Wi-Fi hotspot just for one little city. We're going to probably just make that... we'll come up with different shows for that show if we do it again.
If we do it again, that's fine. Yeah.
What do you think about Kicker Quad prefab box?
Huge.
Funny story you should ask. So when we went to Kicker earlier in the year and shot that video... it was there, and I got to see it and hear it firsthand. Okay. That was one of those things we couldn't talk about. But yeah, I kind of walked in the room, and there it was, and I was like, what the hell is that? And they're like, oh, it's the new quad box we're going to sell. And I was like, for real? They're like, yeah. I was like, for real? Real? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, that's going to come on a pallet. And they're like, yeah. I was like, drop it, baby. Let's hear this, bitch.
Cardboard box.
And it is heavy. Oh my God, is that thing heavy? It's obscenely heavy. But yeah, I've seen it firsthand. It's impressive.
4L7. So it has to be heavy.
Derek hit it right on the head. The most amazing prefab box. Yeah, it's definitely going to be that. and I hate the word prefab. We'll just call it manufacturer built box because there's nothing prefab about that other than that they made it before they put the subwoofers in it. So that'll be really nice. Alpine SA 600M. Do you recommend to push the Type R's? So that's the Type S amplifier. It's not a bad
60
one.
amp?
Yeah, the little 60M. I mean, that'll work.
Type R's.
I mean, you know, the idea is that you buy the Type R's, get the Type R amp and all that fun stuff like that. So there is a difference in sound signature between the two amplifiers. So, yeah. Someone asked earlier, I saw that JL Fix and Tweak versus Helix Mini DSP. There again, it depends on how many channels you're going for. The Helix Mini DSP is 6 channels. 4 channels in, 6 channels out. If that is all you need, definitely buy the Helix DSP. Okay. If, however, you need all 8 channels of the Tweak, get the Tweak.
Yeah.
They're both awesome. I like them both, so I'm fine either way. It's just how many channels you need. I don't think that's in the budget, but if it is, go for that. Your steps for tuning audio control DSP. Go watch Saturday from 2 weeks ago show. We kind of walk you through how to set up the amplifier throughout that show. So that's the easiest way to do that.
That's right.
Wish I had a car to put it in. Don't you?
Wait,
Don't
you have
we
a
all?
truck?
Don't lift that yet. Just wait. What are you trying to do? Hurt yourself?
No, I'm not.
What are you doing?
That's it.
Okay.
Delete this.
Why? You feel better now?
I feel better now.
Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it for the fun and excitement for today.
That's it.
We got to get back to work on this thing. I got to hurry up and get this amplifier wired in. That's going to happen. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. What did you... When are going to get a better...
Huh?
I don't know what that meant, Jason. I don't know what that meant. Oh. Vet? Ooh. All right. See you guys. The Dodge Ram is done. So excited about that. We just finished the tune. By we, I mean me, because Fernando's not here yet. He had to do something this morning. But let's take a look at the bench that we use. If you guys have been watching the live show, you notice we have this like table. It's a workbench. You can get a Husky that moves up and down. It is awesome for tuning. So we can set up both of our laptops, our Mac, our Windows machine, our DMRTA. The microphone, of course, goes into the car. And then when we're done, we can push it out of the way with all our tuning stuff on it until we get ready to finalize, just in case this stuff has to go back in. But this guy is all set. If you notice, this is rather close. He's about Fernando's height, but we measured the seat both. So when you do a car, before you start playing with it, measure it. So measure from the floor to this, measure from a solid piece, not the steering wheel. Don't use the steering wheel because that moves. So go from like the knee buster here to there, knee buster to there. Go to the top of the dash to the back of the seat right here. Go from the head, go from the ceiling to the seat. Measure all these measurements so that when you're done screwing around with the car, you can put it all back to normal, and that way you don't have to have the customer sit in the car. Now, if you're smart, you do the customer wise here, you do that, but that's not always the case because sometimes they get dropped off, and either way, you have to make sure the seat goes back in the same spot. The funny part is that every time someone gets into the car, they'll always do a little bit of adjustment, even though it's still exactly the same. I think it's just just one of those things. But let's check underneath the seat here. So this seat has the 801 attached to it. It's not a lot of room underneath these Dodges, but that one seemed to fit in there really nice. We ran the RCA from that side of the car underneath the armrest. There's a giant tunnel underneath there to do that. Power wire came up this side and goes into the firewall. Power wire for that amplifier goes up, over, around, and across the firewall, and then through the firewall hole. There is see that big softball thing right there? There is a grommet behind it that you can get into, and of course make sure you waterproof it, fill it full of 3M strip caulk or silicone or something so you don't get any leaking. But just like Dodges in the past, there's a nice hole in the dash. Let's walk around to the other side here and we'll take a look at that. So this guy is tucked up in there. Now how this actually attaches, oops, sorry, it's kind of blurry. How this attaches is there's the factory bolt right here for the jack. So we made a keyhole slot into the plastic, so that's a circle with a line, so that it drops onto the hole and then slides forward and locks into place. And then there is the yellow, which you can't see, but there's the yellow spike that holds the jack in place on this side. So the whole thing just like slides and locks, and there's no screws needed into the car to put it into place. And then the RCAs come up this way and into the dash through the center console, so that they're as far away as humanly possible from that power wire. The power wire just comes out of the amp and goes forward along this route, so everything else, so it's divided. I know you guys get real excited about that, but no worries. No worries. Are the EchoMaster tail handle cameras any good as license plate ones? Yes, they're actually very good, Bobby. The main difference between, let's say, a license plate and a handle cam, is this something you have to think about, is use. So if you're going to do a license plate, it doesn't matter whether your tailgate is up or down, you still have full functionality of it. If you drive with your tailgate down for any reason, your backup camera and the handle area becomes totally void, because it's going to have a wonderful picture of the ground and not what's going on behind you. So that's really where the two differ. And that was something that we didn't even consider until we had a customer come in that had a handle cam and was like, I hate this thing. I drive my tailgate down. It's useless. So that's just use. Then we had other guys where we put license plate cams on and like, I don't like it. I want a handle cam. And it's like, oh, whatever you want, bro. Which amp are you using for the P3s? So underneath the seat is the LC 1.800 audio control. It was hard to see. Also, let me give you an update on the Fox box. As it turns out, when we first showed you the box, we actually had it in upside down. If you'll notice now, it is perfectly level with the front of the seat. Seat goes all the way down. Port on this side. There's a port on the other side. So this is 210's P3. The woofers, let me grab the light. Of course I put the light away. Saber lights, these things are awesome, by the way. This is the new one we just got because we managed to give all our other ones away. So here are the P3s. You definitely need grills. As you can see, there's a grill, so it's going all the way down, but that grill is protecting it and allowing us to get maximum airflow. It says Deadpool. Of course, it has a Dodge Ram on the front, looks cool, but that is the Fox box in there, and they're banging. Now, a question I had asked when we were at Audio Control at Knowledge Fest with Audio Control, hanging out in the booth, the guy came to me and was like, so do you use the they have what's called ARC volume knobs for subwoofers. They have a 3, they have a 1. The 3 is a multi-function. It's got like a push button, allows you to go through presets and allows you to turn up and down your volume. Not a big fan of that one. However, the ACR1 is what plugs directly into the LC 1.800 and gives you an actual like stop start. It's fixed. I like that one. So anytime we do one of these, I always plug it into the sub amp and not into the D amplifier. I don't like that. How do you guys feel about the Infinity JBL speakers and amps? Have you ever really seen? Never really seen you guys. Okay, so we haven't really done much with JBL Infinity in the past because not really, wasn't anything too exciting. Stay tuned for that one though. I mean, we have done the JBL Bass Pro, the spare tire thing. That thing was really nice. Sajeki and Bill are the reps here, so that's cool. That's MAG Sales. Because of that, we're probably starting to see more and more because they like us and they like us to try stuff out and they like us making cool videos. I think we may also become a dealer at some point. I honestly don't know what's going on with that, but just stay tuned. We are going to be looking at it. I have seen all the stuff that's coming out for 2020 as well as 21, 22. So they're coming out with their GTI subwoofer. I think that's going to release in 2021 or 2022. That big sucker that was gray. They're coming out with a new updated version of that. It's humongous. As well as they're going to have a DSP. They have $5,000 set of speakers. Yes, Bass Hub. Thank you, Bobby. Hold on. Here we go. Thoughts on the AC-LC7i? It's a phenomenal high level to low level adapter. I mean, if that's what you need, that's the one to have. The whole purpose of a high level to low level adapter is to not affect the sound, meaning don't color it. Don't add its signature on top of the signature that is already coming out of the factory radio. So a lot of the times you'll just add an inexpensive high level to low level adapter, and guess what? It sounds like crap. And it sounds like even more crap because now you've added in the sound signature of the high level to low level adapter. So if all you're looking for is a high level to low level adapter, that's the one. It's in this white box sitting right there. There's one there. When we're just doing high level to low level, that's what we get. However, because it's now and because most cars have their own sound signature, you might want to think about going up to something like a DSP, like a DM608. Even the LCQ1 is an LC7i that gives you 7 or 8 bands of equalization, or the DQ61. That also adds a little bit of time correction. So maybe think about getting outside of that LCQ1 and LC7i and getting into one of the other two just to have a little bit of adjustments. Will speaker box work on quad cab as well? No, the quad cab that's a maxi cab. If you have the Dodge Ram that has the little cool, this is a 2020. So this is the box for the 2020. This is what it looks like. Okay, it has these cool little cubby holes here. If the back of your vehicle looks like this, then this box will work. Foxbox may have other pictures on their website. I don't know. Also, if you don't want to go crazy and you want something more pretty, check out Frostbite boxes. Frostbite box makes a Dodge Ram box for this as well, and it's extremely pretty. We stock those. This guy, he's a drummer. By that, in his center console, he's got his drumsticks so that he can beat on his steering wheel at red lights, I'm assuming. But no, he is a drummer, so he wanted to make sure he had maximum amounts of deep bass to really make that kick drum go boom. Have you done a Fox box in the Crew Cab Silverado? Do they sound? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe, but we have never been disappointed with Fox boxes. I can tell you that right now. What is the best low-cost DSP? So low cost is a relative term because some people think that like McDonald's is a low cost hamburger. Other people think Outback is a low cost hamburger. Some people think Charlie's is a low cost hamburger. So I really don't know how to answer that. I can just tell you this. If you need anything below $500, it's probably going to be good. If you have 4 channels that you're integrating into, just 4, meaning front, rear, the DSR1 is a hard DSP to beat. If you want more adjustments than a DSR1 and you still have 4 inputs, check out the Helix Mini DSP. Now, if you have 6 inputs and stuff like that, check out the DM608. Also, check out the Alpine. But there are a ton of DSPs out there that are... Oh, and don't let me forget the Tweak 88. But that doesn't have high level, so that is just RCA. So that's because you have to have the fix before it. But lots of fun. Yay. Sealed or ported enclosures preferred in an SUV. Well, sealed or ported enclosures in general come down to the type of bass response you want. If you want, there again, we keep saying maximum bass, big boomy sound, you're going to want a ported. Ported delivers that. That's what they're made for. If you're more into that tight bass sound, then sealed. Those are kind of the general terms to describe the two. I like a ported box. I like a fat sound. I'm a big fan of the P3s. As far as price, performance, and boominess, I'm a big fan. But that's, sometimes you can't do that. But an SUV, go big or go home. Fernando had to do, he had an appointment that he had to take care of this morning, so he's running late. I just didn't want to, I didn't want you guys going, how did the Ram turn out? And me not be able to go, oh, it turned out great. And we didn't go live. So if you wanted to, we showed a little bit of it at the beginning of the show. But it's all set, ready to go, all audio controlled up. The Morels are sounding phenomenal. Dude, this thing gets so loud. I was just in there listening to it. And there again, I know I can't let you guys listen to these things. It's the copyright and it's all the silliness, and it's this crappy microphone on this. But, it's so loud. And how you test to see how loud it is, I like big butts again, right? Exactly, Bobby. How you can test how loud it is, when you're listening to it, if it doesn't fatigue your ears, and then you go to talk and you can't hear yourself, Like, you don't know it's loud. Some speakers do that. Morel's one of them. The Voce speakers, the Thesis speakers, those are others. There are others as well. But I'm not a fan of a super bright tweeter. That's why it's like, I like the Morel. It's very soft, very natural sounding for my, tender ears. It's also one of the speakers that when you listen to, it's like, it doesn't, like when you listen to a Focal, it is loud and it is just like, yeah. When you listen to Morel, you're like, is that loud? Oh crap, that's loud. I can't even hear myself think. Holy crap. So that's one of those weird sound signature things. Sometimes you can, if it's set up, I won't say if it's set up right, if it's set up the way I like it, then yeah. Don't get me wrong, when I set up a car, I know what I'm getting into, and I set it up according to the way the customer wants. This guy wants drum, he wants big mid bass, he likes rear fill, he wants all that, so we set it up that way. That's why we try to have conversations with our customers before we start on the car. And if I've sold them the system, then we've discussed what we want to do, what we're looking for, goals, lifelong dreams, and all that fun stuff, so that they get what they wanted. I know, right? What Morel model did you use in the truck? So we used the 6x9 components and the 6x9 coaxials. And even though I'm a big fanboy of Morel, I suck at their model names because they just don't make sense in my head. But we used the Tempo Ultras. So Tempo Ultras 6x9 components and Tempo Ultras 6x9s. Those are the only line of speakers that they make that have the 6x9 component. The 6x9 is ginormous. If you didn't catch the show on Tuesday or Wednesday, don't worry, make sure you catch the Instagram recap show next week. We go ahead and show you all the things we had to do to get them into the doors in this thing because they are a little big. Hey Anthony, what's going on? If you guys don't know, check out Anthony's Car Audio Life over there on the YouTubes. He just did his review of his Knowledge Fest trip. I'm not going to say there was a cameo, but, there was a couple cameos. He does a really good job of pointing to who... I liked it. I enjoyed it. I watched it last night before I went to bed, which means I stayed up way too late. But I had a good time watching it. Really enjoyed it. Brought back memories of a week ago. And it's always nice to see two different perspectives. The live is real. Yeah, it's always nice to see two different perspectives on what happens. So make sure you head over to his channel and check it out just to see, what went on. And now... I understand what it meant to have an $80 crappy meal. Holy cow, there was some food trucks there. So Fernando and I never ate while we were there. It's like if we ate dinner, we were pretty lucky. But they were telling us about this food truck they had. They spent $80 on lunch, and it sucked. And now I know why. You guys think a Rockford Fosgate 10-inch T1 shallow would fit between the seats in a custom enclosure in a Viper convertible? No, not a chance. I mean, okay, maybe, but not have enough airspace. That's a shallow 8 for sure. I don't know. I mean, I recall maybe at some point seeing a 10-inch, but it wasn't a 10-inch like that. Yeah, 8 would probably be the biggest you're going to fit. I mean, yeah, shallow 8. But, in that thought, check out the new L7T shallow 8s. Because there again, you're getting more cone area, might give you that feel of a 10, but in an 8. So it's something to think about. Better amp on sub will give better control of woofer. Having a sub is only part of the equation. Yes, Brian the Alaska man. So any of you guys see Brian on here, we always say hi, Brian. Brian used to live here in Florida. He's a big fan of Alaska, friend of Jeff Smith's. He always hung out, big Alpine fanboy for sure. He also runs Hertz. But yeah, so no Brian. Brian's a good guy. I was looking at that one actually. Thanks, Dean. No problem. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. We ate the chicken and waffles. Rocco's chicken for dinner the next. Yep, and needed to try it. Yeah, Rocco's. Oh yeah. Is it Rocco's or? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Chicken and waffles. Love chicken and waffles. I like chicken. But no, those food trucks apparently sucked. Oh well, live and learn. It was a good time. Hung out with Junior and his dad Saturday night. Had a good time. Should have came, man. You should have came. It's only an hour and 45 minutes through the desert. What's your opinion on polyfill for a box that is a little smaller than recommended? So this is a hot button topic for sure. Hang on. And anytime I give my opinion, it's my opinion. Meaning, it's because I've come up with that opinion over the years doing certain things, and I've found things work or don't work according to what I want them to do. There's a lot of people out there that have different results than me, and that's perfectly okay. My thought on polyfill is, I like what it does. It has always worked for me. Some people will tell you, oh my God, don't do that. And that's okay. But it's a bag of polyfill. It costs under $5. You try it. If it works, you spent $5, you solved your problem. If you try it, it doesn't work, you spent $5, not the end of the world. So definitely give it a try. I'll be checking out the Peterson Museum in March. Y'all recommend, hopefully, oh yeah. So we had a blast at the Peterson Museum. So we were trying to tell the story on Monday's show, but apparently we got interrupted because somebody really wanted to know the difference between pack and iData, and it was the only thing that mattered. So if you go to the Peterson Museum, okay, it's big red silver building, don't worry. If you saw us live, I think we went live, where we saw the Hollywood sign. Walk down the street, park at the Peterson Museum, walk down the street, walk into the Liberated Tar Pits, check it out. You don't have to go into the building, although if you have an afternoon, it's a nice thing to see. It's, you know, if you're into the sightseeing thing, nerd like I am. And then go over to the museum. If you go into the museum, so you'll see the light poles and all that fun stuff. Go up to the left, and there's a giant escalator that takes you up to the top of the next building, because there's like a bunch of little museums at the LA Museum. If you go not into the building, go the other way, that's where you can see the Hollywood sign. So if you're not going to make it on your tour of LA to see the Hollywood sign, that's a great place to view it. You can get some pictures. Bring a lens of size. I mean, you can see it with the eye. It's about like that big. It's pretty cool though. Fernando, I wanted to make sure he got the opportunity to see all that. I don't know when his next trip out to LA will be, because we don't know if we're going to go again next year. Hertz recommend polyfill. Well, then if they recommend it, do it. It's their woofer. What do you think would be my best option for handling a DSP and amps and a 2018 Honda Accord with the 10 channel? Whoa, lots of love. 10 channel system. Should I wait for the new Alpine DSP? All right, so here's our experience with that Fun Accord system that you're referring to. What we went with is the Alpine PXE 0850S, sitting on the shelf over here. That's what I'm reading the model numbers on. What you need in order for your system to function with that system is, for one, drop down the glove box, little silver box, unplug the ANC amplifier, little tiny silver thing up there. The plug is facing to the engine bay, so you reach up behind, you pull it out, you're done. Put that back together. Next, get the radio out of the dash. You don't really have to, you just got to get the screen out of the dash behind it. Buy the Metra Access T-harness for your Honda. Now, I'm sorry, no, for that one? No, you don't need that. Forget that. That was on the non-amplified one. My bad. So you don't have to, actually in yours, you're not going to pull the radio out. You're going to go to the amplifier. And for that, there really isn't a T-harness for that yet, because you need to go in and out. Yeah, so there isn't one, so we ended up having to cut that harness. However, what you need to retain on that car is the center channel, the subwoofer, the front tweeters, and the front mid. So that's 6 channels of input, 2 of which have to be discrete. What we did is we went with that product because it has 6 channels of input, 12 channels of output, and 8 channels of amplified output. How we ran it is 1 and 2 is tweeter, 3 and 4 is mid, 5 is center, 6 is sub. We set up the input mixer to occupy our channels. Now, on the output side, channels 1 and 2 powered the rear tweeters. Channels 3 and 4 powered the rear mid. They're active, plenty of power. You can't bridge that thing, so that was that. Okay, channel 5 powered the center channel. Channel 6, 7, and 8 did nothing as far as the amplified power. Now, 7 and 8, because they weren't doing anything on the amplifier power, went to tweeters. 9 and 10 went to front mid bass, and 11 and 12 went to the subwoofer. What we used for amplifiers were a T404 to power the front stage and a T750.1 to power the subwoofer. So that gave us the ability to retain everything active, everything DSP, good to go. Now, you don't really have to worry about time alignment on that because they've already set it up. All you have to do is go in and tweak the EQ just a little bit, just to make your new speakers sound good. I know, it's a bit complicated, but that was the easiest thing we could come up with that was semi-affordable without going crazy. If you wanted to go, you'd need something with, a lot of inputs. And there again, that's fine. Like the new Audison has all the inputs. There's a Helix that has all the inputs. But obviously, you don't want to spend $1,000 to $1,500 on a DSP. Then that's the easiest way to go with the Alpine and a couple amps, and you're back in business. Can you do a video on a 2014 Kia Forester 5EX CarPlay stereo install? If we ever get one in, of course. It's just a matter of what happens. Cut a harness, bad, Dean. There again, if it's not available, but what we did is we cut it far enough away and we put male and female terminals on it so that for one, we could plug in our stuff, and also when we have to go put it back to factory, we just plug them all back together. Life is good. Bob's your uncle. Do you guys ever do F650s or an Excursion? Oh my gosh, yes, of course. Who didn't do an Excursion and F650? Lots of those. In the past, we've done them all. 8 more days to Clone Wars. Yeah, I know. I almost wish I had time to go back and watch all the other ones. Hold on. Alpine X Series 3-inch fits in dash 2016 Colorados, or can I mix the Morel 254 with an X Series 6 components? I know the Morel will fit. I haven't had a chance to play with the Alpine X Series 3.5 yet, but if you're going active, you can mix any speaker you want. Those two are very close in sound signature, so I don't think it would hurt anything. Give it a try. Does the 2018 Silverado the Bose have bass roll off? Anyway, I can test it without an RTA. First off, if it's a 2018 Silverado with Bose, you're going to be using an Amp Pro, and then you don't have to worry about bass roll off. But yes, if you're just going to be doing high level out of subwoofer, bass roll off is the least of your worries. Me too. What speakers would you recommend in a Dodge Ram Classic single cab? Ooh, so that's a 6x9 speaker in the dash. It's a 6x9 component. There again, don't know what kind of budget you got, but they are ranging anywhere from affordable to unaffordable. Alpine makes 3 different pairs of 6x9 components. Pioneer makes 2 different pairs of 6x9 components. Kenwood doesn't make components to make the 2.5 and the 2.5, which I don't think the 2.5 will fit in your dash. You can't go that way. Audison has a set of 6.5s in the premium line. Focal has a set of 6.5s in the integration line. 6x9s in the integration line. So there's a lot to choose from. It just comes down to money and how much you want to spend. I'm watching the last season. There you go. Thank you. Speaker baffles are just fast rings with foam. Stay away from speaker baffles. I hate them. They do bad things. They create a seal around the speaker and then they breathe. Speakers are infinite baffle in the door. That means they don't need an enclosure. They're made to play with an air chamber that is the size of a door. If you put a baffle behind them, that restricts the amount of movement they have and then will reduce the amount of mid-bass you're going to get out of them. If you want a baffle for protection against the elements, typically what I recommend doing is cutting the baffle perfectly in half, putting it on the top, and allowing that the rain will drip off of the 3 sides that are there. However, we don't use them at all. We just use fast rings. Fast rings accomplish basically the same thing. With that back ring, it'll cover the back side of the speaker, and water will come down the inside of the door and run off to either side. I have a 2012 Tahoe LTZ package. What do you recommend for a head unit upgrade? The best one you can buy. When it comes down to head unit, the only thing I can recommend is figure out the features you want. If you don't need a CD player, don't buy something with a CD player. If you want the top of the line screen, and the only thing it comes with is a CD DVD player, like the Kenwood I always get this wrong, XRs. Yeah, XRs. Buy Kenwood XR. But then again, you have a 706, 7706, you have the ILX W650. There's a lot of them. I would probably stay away from the ILX W650 because I would recommend going with the iData Maestro piece for that. And that's going to be a Kenwood or an Alpine. Kenwood or a Pioneer. A lot of letters going on here. There you go. Try Kenwood, Kicker KS. Hey, I guess he decided that it wasn't worth trying to figure it out on his own and brought the DSR1 here. There you go. All right. He's the reason why I had to stop this in the first place, because he was calling me. And I said, just bring it by. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of the show for right now. When Fernando comes back in, depending on what's going on later in the day, we'll catch up with you. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye. We often get asked, what is the hardest car to put a radio in? Some cars are obviously a lot harder than others. Today, we're working on what I consider to be one of the top 10 suckiest cars to put a radio in.
Okay.
And I know the suspense is getting to you. But let me show you what we've taken out first. So the question is, those of you just chiming in, is you guys ask us what are some of the worst radios what are some of the worst cars to put radios in? So what we got here is one of my top 10, maybe even my top 5. So let me show you over here. Hold on. Not that I need to tell you. Hold on. So what we have, some of you guys are going to recognize this. We have a factory navigation system. We have a factory Sirius XM. There's the actual navigation module in the back.
Let them guess what kind of car it is.
Here is the CD changer that we took out. They're going to figure it out from that. Here's this giant bracket. Moving over here. Here is the giant factory amplifier that no longer works. Disrespected. And then right here in the very back next to the battery is this. This is the radio. You guys may recognize this harness. This is the actual radio. Not that hole in the dash right there. And not all the stuff that's located right here. None of that. This is the factory radio. Wifey says hi. Hi, Bobby. So let's go up here into the dash. Now, you can get one of these with a normal radio in it that has a DSP that you have to do a lot of fun stuff to. But it will have a bracket here. It won't be this giant hole. How you get this out is this piece right here is the factory trim bezel. Mm-hmm. It unsnaps, and then behind it is 4 of the tiniest little torque screws ever, and then this comes out, and then there's no wiring here. There is 2 plugs, these little guys right here, but they do nothing. There's no antenna here. That's in the back. So this is a BMW X5.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
And it sucks.
Yep.
What you have to do is run everything. So you have to run an antenna to the back. You have to run power, ground, accessory, illumination, reverse trigger, remote turn on, or amplified antenna to the back.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to run your 6 RCAs to the back. The only nice thing is all the speaker wires are in the back. I'm hearing static in my right speaker. Could possibly be that the amplifier channel are broken. How do I troubleshoot? Switch the RCAs and switch the speaker wires. See if it changes to the other side.
Yeah.
Ow.
For the people asked about the Camry, we just did a Camry 2019. Actually, that was 2020.
That was a 2020.
2020 Camry. That was non-amplified system. So, but yeah, we did it.
The footage for that is in the 5 Minutes with 5-Star that went up yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's towards the end. So if you're trying to find it, it's towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys do Brazilian style setups. Would love to see a vid on that. At the moment, no. Now, the other thing is all the speaker wires are back here. These are all the speaker wires, but these are the mid bass. There is 2 subwoofers over here. These are dual voice coils, so there's four pairs of wires there. That's what's soldered into this. It does give you a nice 2 ohm load, but it's a full active system. We're taking that out, putting a 5-channel amp in it. So what we're gonna have is tweeters have to be capped, mid-range have to be capped, tweeters in the rears have to be capped. So there's 6 speakers up front, 12 total wires, 4 speakers in the back, 8 total wires that all have to go into a 5-channel amp. So it is a lot of fun. So wow. The X5 definitely sucks. Now the other thing that we had to do is because it has the big hole in the dash is we use the laser to make this panel right here. This goes in and this will allow us to screw in our new aftermarket radio using the factory screw holes. Of course, cut one out of wood, cut one out of plexi, and then there is one already attached to the radio version 3, and it is gonna go in and screw into the factory harness, or screw into the factory holes. The dash kit that they make for the non-navigation attaches to it in the front. We put some M4 bolts that attach it in, and that's it. So there's a factory hole there, factory holes here, and the dash kit will snap over it. And there we go. Now, some of you are more interested in the questions you're asking us. So let's hit some of those real quick.
All right. Hang on. Firmware update for a new DMX 906S, but the update failed. Now, it's stuck and a suggestion on what should I do or what should I try? Wow.
Ooh.
No. If you make
if it's locked,
a run firmware update on the Kenwood,
yeah,
you gotta send it back.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
That's a big bad.
Yeah.
When you guys do 3.5s in the dash speakers, do y'all put a cap on them? If it doesn't come with them, yeah, we put a 47, which is what we put on these. What do you think about Orion mid-range and component speakers? I have never heard them.
Never heard.
When you use SpeedWire, how far do you twist the wires? What do you mean? I mean,
if the speed wire comes in the
it's all done,
it's
ready to go.
So
it's already twisted. So I don't
So
have
I'm
to
guessing
twist
it's like how far you can go, or.
I mean, if I'm making my own speed wire, I'll go all day long.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've 20 feet. Doesn't matter to me. But like if we're talking about when you strip the end of the speed wire to wire it up, that just depends on how many twists and turns. Speed wire doesn't bend all that easy. So if I need 12, 14 inches of actually exposed wire, I'll twist all that and I don't have any issues.
All right. If you actually go into YouTube and search 5 minutes with 5-star,
For which one?
2 weeks ago from the Toyota Camry.
No, it was yesterday.
There you
It's
go.
literally yesterday. Yesterday's video towards the end of the video.
The car.
We did the car 2 weeks ago, but it's in
the whole video.
It was yesterday.
Is yesterday. So
Yeah,
check it out. Yesterday on YouTube.
Yep, it's in that.
searchable.
It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. Just scan through until you see the audio control amps in the back. We did like 2 days talking about.
Right.
Okay, so review on new Prime amps is tomorrow. Yes, it is. Eric is going to be here. We're going to talk. Eric from
Rockford.
will be here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be on the live show.
That's
so
right.
we're going to have a live show. He's here in the studio. He's the install bay. We like to call it a studio when there's no cars. So he'll be here. He'll have an amp in his hand. It's all going to happen tomorrow at 6 o'clock on our normal YouTube show. Fun and exciting. Can't wait. My dash lights dim, but headlights don't.
0 gauge OFC ground, 370 amperes alternator, D3 battery. Dashboard lights cannot get it.
No, that's a weird one.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I mean, throw a voltmeter in there and see what it's actually doing. Like throw a voltmeter on the dash lights and see how bad it's getting.
That's right.
I mean, your headlights might be dimming. You just might not actually see it.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Lalo.
Any advantage of using all 6 RCAs versus 4-channel inputs, non-DSP? Any advantage of using all 6 RCAs versus 4 RCA inputs, non-DSP? I mean, front rear sub. If whatever you're going to has front rear sub, you run front rear sub. 6-channel. Advantages, disadvantages? I don't know. I mean, if I want to do balance or fade and the sub is coming off of front or rear, that's going to screw it up. If this radio that I'm using has active crossovers or time alignment or subwoofer volume control of its own, I like to use that.
Right.
I mean, it's just if it's got 6, I use 6, I guess. Correct. How are you guys doing?
Good, man.
Got a headache, kind of tired.
Yeah.
Went to bed early last night. That's why there's no video. Went to bed at like 9:30 last night. Of course, then woke up at 11:30 with a massive headache.
Now,
so that sucked. But thank you for asking.
Can you remember when we started doing this and you started like, I don't know, maybe like through 2-3 weeks ago, every night you go to bed like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. And
the question is somewhere what?
No, it's just like now that you go to bed 9 o'clock, how do you feel?
Oh, well, I mean, I was really tired. It wasn't a question of whether I wanted to go to bed at 9 o'clock last night. It was literally I got home and I was going to go running and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I fixed the refrigerator because I got the panel in. And while I was doing that, I about passed out. So I got a shower, went over to my bed and was out within, 1, 2, 3, gone. Out! You win.
What's up, Victor?
How can I bypass my OEM 15 Kia Optima Infinity amplifier? I want to add a vocal 4-channel amp. Right now, okay.
And this is Friday. I don't
So
know,
there
tomorrow.
are. So I know that Metra is working on stuff for Kia and their access line for amplifier integration. I don't know if it's out yet because it's one of those things where they introduced it at CES. It's in their catalog. I don't know if it's on their website. If it's not, then obviously not available yet. But in that particular car, if it has the Infinity system, it's not easy. You're going to have to do a lot of summing if there is no interface for it, which, there again, I don't think there is one yet. But you can check Metra. If you have to do summing, which I know we've done before, it's a lot of channels. So you have to figure out how many front channels you have, which I think there are 6. Then you have to sum them all together. Honestly, it's not the funnest thing in the world to do.
Okay, so but that you going
well,
for power?
If I'm doing that, I'm buying a 6-channel amplifier and going power
go
for
front.
power. Yeah, I'm just gonna go mid bass, mid range. All 3.
So you go basically active.
Yeah, because if it's the Infinity system, my guesses are the time alignment's already done. It usually is, so there's no reason to screw with that. You just need to EQ it a little bit, get a small 6-channel amplifier, reasonably sized 6-channel amplifier. It's not the cheapest way to do it, but it's also going to sound the best.
Right. We haven't worked with B2 Audio at all, but Steve Mead, it's the guy to ask. He always have B2 Audio. So.
It's that Studio 51.
And it's
nice,
good.
Victor. Rockford Fosgate 360 DSP or the audio controlled DM810. Well, so I've only worked with the 360 very sparingly, and I wasn't a fan of it. That's why I just kind of pushed it to the side. The DM810 I'm way more familiar with, and if it is someone's first DSP, the 810 is a lot easier. And from that standpoint, I mean, for the most part at this time, I could probably put an 810 in with my eyes closed. It's an easy DSP to use, and it sounds good. So from that perspective, I'd probably recommend that. Now, if you're a next level crazy user and you've worked with the 360 before and you're familiar with it, by all means, hit it up. Yeah, is Bill here? Coral Springs, believe. Okay. At least it's Friday. That doesn't mean anything. I got a pack LP74. I hear a static noise coming from the car when I push on the brakes.
Audio
it
systems.
goes away. I do have the brown wire grounded. Any advice on how I can quiet it down? Even when I turn off my car, the amp stays on for a little while, and I can still hear the static. So the reason why the amp is staying on for a little while is because it's hooked up using the LP72. So LP74. The LP74 uses DC offset. DC offset is a 6-volt carrier wave that passes down the signal coming from the radio into the amplifier over the preamp section. What it's designed to do is increase the power output of the amplifier, but we use it for is remote turn on. So when the radio turns on, it sees that, it turns it on. That's why there's a yellow, black, and blue. The blue is an output, not an input. And they're totally separate from anything to do with the high level to low level adapter. All it's doing is tapping in using that low voltage trigger to turn itself on. What that means is when the car is in boot up, which means it's not controlled from the key like most aftermarket radio factory radios are not, your amp is going to stay on for a little bit and then shut off. It's perfectly normal. When you grab your handles, turn on your dome light, radio typically turns on, which will turn on the amplifiers. Why you're getting a static, though, that is a totally different creature thing. Getting static is tough. Typically, we don't ground the brown wires. Those usually don't ever need to be grounded, ever. No.
You can try, but no.
But what you want to do is start experimenting, meaning try switching the RCAs, try switching your speaker outputs, see if it moves. Find out if it's just dedicated to that channel. You have to do a little bit of legwork. So start moving things around and see if that gets you anywhere. Ever install a 3-way Infinity Kappa Perfect? No. Have we? No, not yet.
No, not yet. We installed the components and coaxials.
No, I'm just saying we haven't put those in. No. Yeah, the 3-way set. I've seen them. Like, they brought them in and showed it to us. It looks really cool. I like the idea where you can take any set of components and add the mid-range with the crossover to them, so they don't actually, so if you've already got a car, you just sell them the mid-range. It's kind of cool. 2015 Camaro, I had a shop install a stereo in my car, and they put 8-inch speakers on the door. They put Memphis speakers in. I want to replace it, but should I stay 8-inch or go 6.5? Well, it depends. If the 8-inch was a loudspeaker, then,
that was
or if it was a mid bass,
a woofer.
You know, if it was a mid bass, then yeah, another 8-inch mid bass might sound nice.
Yeah.
But if it was a mid range, then going to a 6.5-inch mid bass or an 8-inch mid bass may be a better alternative.
Now, if you have premium sound system, of course, now you have to. Didn't Fernando, for you guys, like all
Olive oil.
yeah.
What equipment are you installing in the BMW? If you already said, I'm sorry, I asked, just got on. No problem. What we got going on here is one of our top 10 most hated cars ever to do an installation in. We're putting a radio in it. This one has the factory navigation system, which means there's no dash kit for it because it's just got a big, whoa, that didn't flip. Big gaping hole here in the dash. Not only that, there's no wiring here in the dash. There's no antenna. There's just 2 plugs here, and these 2 plugs report back here to the back of the car. Inside of here is a giant factory amplifier that normally works. The DSP, the Sirius XM, tons of crap. You guys have all seen back BMWs or German cars. They have tons of crap here. But located down here at the very bottom, that is the factory radio. There's the antenna. There's the factory plug. This is a standard European radio harness right here. Standard antenna adapter. So in order to put a radio in this car, you have to run every single wire, RCA, everything up into here. Not only that, it's a fully active system. 3-way set up front, 2-way set in the back, and then 2 dual voice coil subwoofers. So in order to put a 5-channel amp in here, you need a bunch of capacitors for the tweeters and capacitors for the mid-range, and every single one of these wires goes to something, so it is a lot of fun. That's what we're working on. Of course, because they make no dash kit for this, we had to come over to our handy dandy laser and print this guy out here, which this is the first prototype made out of wood, and that evolved into this guy. We figured out that we need spacers attached to the back, and then we took it one step further, and we wanted to make sure that we could screw the kit that they make for the non-navigation system to it. So we went back to the laser and cut a piece that has these holes in it so that we could then attach them to this, which is the non-navigation kit. Took that factory kit, mounted it upside down. There's 4 screw holes here, here, and one over there, which will match up to these 4 screw holes here. So we'll be able to screw this in, snap the cover on, and we'll be back in business. That's and of course, we ran all new wiring. We put a Toyota harness in it because that had the right amount of plugs so that we can still service the radio if we need to.
That's right.
And that's what we're working on.
Woohoo!
Is there one more video on the Raptor, or did I miss it? You have not missed it, Victor. I did not edit it yet. That's going to be the first video that comes out next week. So I didn't edit, obviously didn't edit last night because I went to sleep. Sorry. But yes, no, there's the 6th and the final installment into that, and then we'll get back on track and start making videos.
What do you think about the audio control DQSX?
DQSX.
Like the big one?
I honestly don't know.
DQSX.
I'm gonna play. I have no idea on that one. That install looks nuts. Yeah, it is. It's one of the hardest cars to put just a basic radio in there is, because you can't just put a basic radio. You have to put a full amplified everything in it, and it's just a pain.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, it sucks. So we basically came off the RAM that we were working on all Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday, part of Thursday to this. Yeah. So this showed up late last night. We started on it, getting it all apart, and going through the rigors of trying to put this in.
That is right.
Yay. So lots of fun there. All right, guys. Options to build an amp rack and a Vito MX-5. We went off to the passenger side, I think. I don't know. What is an MK5?
MK5. I think it's a Lincoln.
No. It says Volkswagen. VW MK5. I don't know.
Oh!
What is that?
It's
I gotta tell you, man. Like, I know Passat, Jetta. Well, I'm not up on all the cool terms for the sportier versions of the Volkswagen.
Mark 3, Mark 4.
Yeah, I don't really get into it like that. I drive a Camaro, and it's just a Camaro.
Well, you have a Camaro that has
but it's not an RS, an SS, a tweak special. It's nothing. It's just a car. I'm a basic guy. You drive an F-150, 500 different F-150s, but they're all F-150s to me. So Hey, what do you guys think about Memphis Audio? I got that 6-inch sitting over there that I'm dying to put in a box, but just haven't been able to get one yet. So hopefully at some point we'll get to hear that and see how it sounds.
That's right.
But on that note, I think I'm going to call it a day. We got to get to finish this thing. I got to finish wiring up all these caps in the back for these speakers. Oh boy, fun. I get to sit in the back of this car for an hour. Yay! Yeah. My knees are going to hurt. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Eric Russell from Rockford will be here. We're going to talk about Prime amplifiers and whatever else he's got on his plate that he wants us all to know about. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you later next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, buddy. What do we got? This is another Femur.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me go around the other side. Hey, I'm waving to myself in the mirror, the window, tint. Hey, it's Dean. All right, so what do we got is a 3 Series. This is kind of a, turn off the air so it doesn't blow into the mic. Just turn it all the way down. There you go.
I had one before, so.
Yeah, not this nice though.
Well, mine, that was the 3 Series.
Yeah, but it wasn't this 3 Series.
Yeah, okay.
Several years before.
Continue.
All right, so what we got going on here is a Kenwood 706.
706.
That's Bill. You know Bill. Anyways, we got a 706 we just put in here. This is the Best Kits dash. However, because it has the cool motorized things here, usually seated heats, we had to use the Metra little interface. But then we use the pack harness. Now, anytime you're doing one of these, it has a constant 12 volts behind the radio, but it shuts off after a half hour. So you actually have to go, that comes with the wire, you have to go to the battery in the back corner, put it in reverse.
Of course.
So we did a backup camera in this to get them all modern. Look at that. Ooh, backup sensor still works.
That's right.
So if it doesn't have Metro Pocket, you know it. So you hear the little beeping sound.
Bill.
If it doesn't have the factory speaker, they give you a speaker. If it has the factory speaker, they give you a cable. So the new pack module is generating that for you.
That's right.
Makes things really sweet, really sexy. And that's it. So we just wanted to show you that.
Works,
steering wheel controls. Yeah, still get volume up and down.
Yeah, Siri is free if you have
iPhone
or if you got Android Auto.
And then he had the factory USB location here, so we made him a quick little lasered piece to mount our, and of course we added the pretty little BMW logo to it. Oh, isn't that pretty? So nice. Last one of those I did. The most System 2 harness cost more than the radio did. Yeah, like the one we did 2 weeks ago. Yeah, for sure. 2 weeks ago? Last week.
What are you talking about?
The 3 Series we did with the that had the radio up top, the screen up top, and the down below, and we had to relocate the radio into the trunk and had the most interface for fiber optic and all that silliness. Easily cost more than the radio we put in.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's always fun, but that's the joy. I'm installing new head units on an IS300 and Ram tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep in and maybe go get some lunch.
All right, so before we go with the questions, remember guys, today on YouTube we have at 6 o'clock we have Eric Russell from Rockford Fosgate.
That might be why Bill's here. Is that why you're here, Bill?
Could be.
Could be?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait.
I think I saw Santa Claus.
Really?
I think I saw
with a
Santa
backpack?
Claus.
Santa Claus with a backpack?
Santa Claus with a backpack.
Ooh.
And isn't that your shirt that you like?
Yes.
Hold on, let me do this. Ooh, look at Santa Claus here. A lot skinnier and, well, almost as much white cream here.
Look at those boxes. Red boxes.
Red
what
boxes.
are those boxes?
You must have fun getting on the airplane.
Ooh.
Ooh, they're red. Oh, so we know what those are. Hey, I know that guy. You know Johnny Brolin from Loud and Clear, Wiley, Texas.
Johnny Baldwin.
Yeah, I said it wrong.
Yeah.
Big guy, like 6'2", soft-spoken, but he'd kill you if you look. Yeah. Sorry, Johnny.
Texas.
It's the best description I could give. Nice guy in the world.
Yeah.
He's the guy that made me my sticker for my 26.2 up there on the toolbox.
Yeah.
It's got the 4 turds underneath it. Yeah, he hooked me up.
reason.
It's because I had to poop 4 times on my way on that run. Hold on, what does it say? Y'all remember I just bought 2 old school Fosgate Pro 12? Oh yeah, chrome baskets. Love the chrome baskets. Easily 25 years young. Running component set with crossover network included. Do you also use the radio's high pass or just use the full range signal to set that? You're going to use the high pass in the radio also. Remember, when you're doing a crossover, a component set like that has some form of external crossover, the crossover provides a bottom for the tweeter, a top for the mid-range, and then you have to provide the bottom for the mid-range. Now, when I say top, bottom, those are crossovers. So the lowest frequency that tweeter's going to play, the highest frequency the mid-range is going to play, and then the lowest frequency that the mid-range is going to play is going to come either from the radio or the amplifier.
That's right.
And that's how that works. Right?
Yeah, sounds easy.
Right, Eric? Yeah, I just got a thumbs up. He wasn't even listening. Oh, well, all good. Thanks, Johnny. I would crush you. Speaking of Dallas, we're going to be hanging out with Johnny. That's our plan, is to go over to Loud and Clear and hang out Thursday when we get there early. Oh, why did I do that? Hey. I don't know, just hitting buttons. You excited about tonight?
Absolutely. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff.
And the red boxes. Nice. All right, we just wanted to come on and say don't forget, we're going to be there. And it's Saturday, so it's YouTube. So keep I'll preface it with this. If you ask what speakers you should get for your car, I can tell you what the answer is going to be. Exactly. So probably not going to be the night to ask that question. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Just take it in for what it is. And we'll have fun.
Might be able to get a history lesson out of it, too.
There you go.
Oh, great.
Like
now we have to show how old we are.
Sure.
What the heck, man?
Go today.
Yeah. All right, guys. 6
We're
o'clock.
going to head out. We'll see you at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the YouTubes. The regular Saturday night show like we've always been doing, except for last week because we were out of town. Which is better, DSR1 or DSP? Oh, God, DSR1. Come on, man. It's not even a fair question. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.